Hello and welcome. In today's video, I want to show you a basic workflow to incorporate your changes in Git repository. For our demo, we will use Gitlab, but the workflow is the same for other tools like Bitbucket. When working in a project, your daily task would be to check out the code from remote Git repository, create branch for your task, and push the changes back to the remote server. However, this should be done in a way that takes into account the changes from the other team's member without accidentally losing any work. So before pushing your local changes, you need to make sure that your local copy of the parent branch, the branch from which your feature branch was created, is up to date. This involves pulling the latest changes from the remote repository to your local parent branch. After that, you rebase your branch on top of the latest changes from the parent branch. Let's consider an example. The first things before doing any change in the code, you need to check out the target branch. In this case is the main branch, but it could be any other branch. After that, you will create feature branch and add your changes there. And before pushing back the changes, you need to check whether this branch has been changed in meanwhile. So in this case, another developer has committed new changes to the remote repository. So the best practice is to synchronize your feature branch locally first before sending or pushing the changes back. So how to do that? You need only to update your main branch like this. So you update the main branch, and after that you put these changes on top of the main, and this by using Rebase. This is what does mean Rebase, and this is as if you have just created this branch from this state here and you implemented your change. So your changes are added to the last state of the main, and after that you can push back to the remote repository, and there you can create a merge request. So for our demo, we will use Gitlab. I created this project bank application. So let's clone it locally. On my local machine, I prepared two folders, user1 and user2, to simulate concurrent work. And here we will clone the project, and let's change to this folder. We will change the username in Git just to simulate different user from the same machine. And we open the project in IntelliJ. So this is our project, new window. And as you see, this is Git, this is the main branch. And now we will add a new feature, and for that we have to create new branch from here. Let's call it, for example, feature A. We create this branch and we create a class there. This is our change here. Before pushing our change, let's assume that another user has changed the main branch. How to make sure that? So we go to the second folder and we clone the project there, and we open this project here, dev demo workflow from user to application, new window. We need to change the username here, like for the other folder. Let's call it user2, and here this is our user2 project folder. So let's add a feature branch here and call it feature B, and we add the change here. Normally, before committing this or pushing this change, you need to rebase this feature on top of main. So after updating main, but we know that main hasn't been changed. How you check that? You can fetch here. You will see that main hasn't been changed, as you see here in this graph. So what we need to do now is to check this change, feature B added, and we commit and push, commit and push. So our change is now on the remote repository, and there we can create merge requests like this. As you see here, it is suggested by Gitlab, create merge request. Let's create one. call it this, and here create merge request, delete source branch. We are now merging the change from feature B. The merge request has been created, and now let's merge it immediately. We don't have any pipelines, and the change has been merged into the mean branch. Now when we switch back to feature E, before pushing, so if we fetch here the change, fetching means just make the local repository aware of the change from the remote server. And as you see, the mean is ahead of our change in the feature change in the feature branch. So, and it is suggested, so you would need to update the main. So this is what we discussed at the beginning. You update the main. The main has been updated, and after that you say rebase feature E onto main. So now we put the change, so we take into account the changes from the mean branch, so like this. And only after doing that, now we can commit our change. As you see in this graph, the feature branch is on local repository, so we don't have it on remote. So now what we can do, so the feature E is now ahead of the main, so now you can push your change. So let's go here, commit and push feature, we commit, and as you see we have this zigzag. It looks straightforward, so the history is very clear. So now our change, so this step, this is what we discussed in this tutorial. Before sending your change, you need to update main and rebase the feature, the branch on top of the main branch. And now we can again create merge request. It is aware of the change, you can create it, and we can merge immediately. So now mean in the remote servers contains also the change from the feature branch, and the merge here happens normally without any conflict, without any problem. It is mostly a fast forward merge thanks to the rebase we did in locally. So now we can fetch the change, and as you see here, understand the changes and everything. So I hope you find this useful. Thanks for watching, and bye.